and product categories, custom form styles, customize your sales form design, set defaults, and manage multiple templates. Now, the customization of the forms, I believe we have another course or section that gets into that. There's two reasons you might want to customize a form. One is because you're providing that form externally to somebody that's dealing with the business, and therefore you want to make it look nice, put your logo on it, and customize it in that way to give it your own look and feel. And two, because you might want to add fields onto the form that help you actually record the transaction and or sort the data once the transaction has been recorded. So you might put like a custom field on the form, which is down here, right? So that you might have more tracking ability within it. So if I go into the custom orders, you have the style. Now these forms, notice invoice, estimate, sales receipt. These top two in particular are the forms that you're more likely to give to clients. Meaning an invoice is when you do work and you bill the client, invoice the client to get paid in the future. Oftentimes the invoice these days being sent electronically. Therefore, that's a form you would want to customize because it's not just a data input form. It's not just helping you to organize your data input to record the financial transaction, to create the financial statements, balance sheet, income statement, but rather is actually going to be received by somebody, in this case a client, and therefore you want it to look nice. And then we have the estimate form. Similarly, going to a client, this would happen if we're giving an estimate before we actually invoice. So that's the form that doesn't actually record anything, but like if we have a project that we're going to work on and we want to like mock up how much it's going to cost or estimate how much it's going to cost, rather than using an invoice, we'll use an estimate, and then we can track the estimate to see whether or not they would want to take on the estimate or not, which means we're most likely going to email the estimate to the client, and therefore once again would like to customize it, possibly making it at least look nice, adding our logo to it, and so on. And then we've got the sales receipt. So if someone's at a cash register, for example, you can imagine that you give them a receipt form, which usually we think of just like a little receipt. But if you're in the QuickBooks system, the receipt form the sales receipt is the data input form to record the sale when we receive the payment at the same time, which might be just a data input form. We might not be giving the sales receipt to a client, or sometimes we might print out the sales receipt and give the sales receipt to the client, in which case, once again, we'd like to make it look nice so we can customize it. All right, so then you have so we have another course or section on that. Let's go to the drop down again.